What's happening, YouTube? We are back with a knife video. Just finished up my testing with these two knives, which you'll see in the video. And we have got a versus match here of the Benchmade Bugout versus this Para 3 Lightweight. A lot of videos are going to be out on this guy as far as reviews and such, but one thing I keep hearing it called by a lot of the Sypderco fanboys, we're going to call them, are that it's a Benchmade Bugout killer. And I don't think it is, so we're going to find out. So we're going to rank it based on a bunch of different things. And this is, this is all this is my opinion, so take it for what it's worth. It's not like a scientific test by any means. The performance of the knives really kind of are in a little bit more, but I'm just going to give my thoughts and see, is the Para 3 really a Bugout killer? So first thing we're going to talk about is price. Para 3 Lightweight comes in about $91, $92, around there. The Bugout, 110-ish, depending on where you buy it. They've been out longer. There's a couple different handle colors. I think this Ranger Green one's a little bit more expensive, but if we're comparing base models, the price is definitely in favor of the Para 3 Lightweight. Now, it's not necessarily in favor. You do get better materials on the, I'm not sure if they're better. We don't really know much about CTS BD and BD1N. Is it as good as S30V? Is it as good as Benchmade's S30V? I don't know. I think S30V is still a little bit better steel, but I don't know enough about this edge retention wise. Didn't do enough testing to find that out. So I can't really talk about much of that. So I'm going to give the edge of the Para 3. It's a little bit less money, both made in the USA. So there you go. Construction and fit and finish. All right. So this Bugout here is, I've had it for a long time. Used the heck out of it. Carried it a lot. It's perfectly centered. It's got a nice snappy action. It's a drop shot action. It's fantastic. The blade grind and the bevels are very even. Yeah, I don't see any kind of issues there. And you do get these nice brass thumb studs. You get the titanium axis locks housing on this one, and you got the brass standoffs. The pod clip on this is not the one it usually comes with the Bugout, but whatever, that doesn't matter too much. The Para 3 is FRN as well, so kind of plastic handle. This one only has one wash. Oh, this one has 2 phosphorus bronze washers, very smooth. Nice construction, a little bit more strength there. This has got 1 washer, really weird. It's got like a built-in FRN washer and then 1 phosphorus bronze this side. The action and everything is actually really good on it. So it's kind of surprising that with that 1 washer, but I do feel a little bit more grittiness when opening the knife. If I slowly open it and stuff and shut it, it's just not quite as smooth. It's pretty close though. But one thing I will say about the fit and finish, this one came pretty centered too. It's a little to the left, just a hair, but not a whole lot. But the big issue with this knife that a lot of people are having is the grinds. So look at that bevel, or not the grinds, the bevel, and look at that bevel. You can see it's pretty uneven. Comes down much wider right here, comes down lower there. This side is, this side's a little more shallow, especially right here through the bevel than on this side. So it's a little bit more uneven, and that's what a lot of people are finding with this knife, is that the bevels are uneven. So I definitely give, and it has plastic standoffs here. So I definitely give the fit and finish and construction to the Bugout. Action. I actually call this a wash, even though I think the Bugout is a little bit better. But I tell you, I got a good example of both. You got a nice snappy action there. You can middle finger flick it, and then it drops shut. The Para 3 is about the same. It's a little less smooth, but it does have 1 less washer. So I kind of call this one a wash. It could probably easily go to the Bugout, but I call it a wash as far as action's concerned. Ergonomics. Just feeling them in hand, the Bugout is very ergonomic. It's got a great handle. So does the Para 3. It's got a great handle. It's very comfortable. One thing I will say is that these edges here, and this kind of has to do with fit and finish, are a lot rougher. You can kind of feel the inside of these scales need to be chamfered better. I don't feel that on the Bugout. So I definitely say the ergos are actually a little bit better, especially after using the knives and cutting and doing the same kind of materials. I feel like the Bugout has a little bit better ergonomics. So I'll give the edge of the Bugout on the ergonomics. Pocket clip. Now this again is not the same deep carry clip, and I can go get it if you like, but you know what one comes on the Bugout? It's a little bit smaller, right? It's deep carry, nice clip. Pair 3 with the wire clip is a genius idea. I always love the wire clip. So I give this a wash. I think they're both really good if you like deep carry pocket clips. They both come with deep carry pocket clips. They're both really good clips. So that's kind of a wash there. They both are going to carry really nice. That actually does bring me to another category, though, is how are they going to carry? And one thing you're going to notice, I mean, they're both going to carry deep, but look how much wider in the pocket the pair of 3 is going to be. Quite a bit. This is much slimmer package. It's also lighter. That's going to be another thing. 1.9 ounces versus 2.5. And it's thicker as well. So overall, the carry and everything would give the edge to the Bugout for sure. Fit and finish. We kind of talked about that in construction, so I'm not going to go too much into that. Both of them came centered. Yeah, I'm not going to go into that. We can already cover that. So, but I gave the edge to the Bugout there. Locking mechanism. They're both got really good locks. I love the axis lock. A lot of people do not like it. I like it quite a bit. It's fully ambidextrous, which is a big advantage. It's much easier to manipulate the knife with your left hand if you're not a lefty than the pair 3. I like the pair 3's lock. I love the compression lock. It's fantastic. And you can do it left-handed, but you kind of have to like almost get, I mean, I kind of have to move my hand off the knife altogether, whereas on the Benchmade, I can just go, you know, it's a little bit easier. So as far as the locking mechanism goes, they're both really good locks, and they both have good fidget factor and stuff like that, but I do kind of give the edge of the Bugout there because it is a little bit easier to manipulate left-handed if you're not a lefty, and I imagine if you are a lefty, it's even easier. So I give the lock, this can go a lot of ways. Strength, you know, the lock, you know, people have had the Omega springs break on the axis lock. I've never had that happen. And the and the compression lock is a very strong lock. So strength-wise, you might give the edge to the pair 3, but overall, like not just strength, but ease of use, you know, the ambidextrix, all that kind of stuff, I would kind of give the edge to the axis lock. So that may be more of a personal preference, but I think if you are a lefty, which I'm not, I'm right-handed, but if you are a lefty, you might take that into consideration. So aesthetics, how both the knives look. They're both good-looking knives. I think you have to kind of give the edge to the Bugout because it's Ranger green, and that gray Cerakote blade is really sick, and you just get kind of a black and, you know, satin finished on the pair 3. But you also give the Bugout's been out a lot longer. You also have the blue handle. You also have a lot more scale options out there. I know you can swap blades with pair 3s with the G10, but I don't know about scales. And why would you? Because then it's not lightweight. We're not going to count the scales options because the point of these knives is that they're both super lightweight, right? So if you change the scales, that changes things. But as far as aesthetics, just the way they are out of the box, I would definitely give an edge to the Bugout. I think it's just a little bit better looking knife, and it has, you know, some nice color touches and things. So I give it to the Bugout aesthetically. All right, steel-wise, S30V, BD1N. Don't know much about them, like I mentioned. I know a lot about S30V. It's been around forever. I've used it. It's a great steel. Benchmade heat treats there as well. They do a good job. This knife has never been sharpened, and I've had it ever since this Ranger green color came out, which has been a while. So, and I've only had to strop it, and it's been fine. And it's seen a lot of use. BD1N. Regular BD1 definitely wouldn't compare to S30. Now this has got nitrogen added. How it aids in edge retention, I don't know. I don't know enough about the steel to make a comparison here, so I'm actually going to call this a wash, even though S30V probably is a better steel. I just don't know enough about the other one to really judge it yet, so I'm going to call that one a wash. Performance. This is where it's going to come down to the cut test, which I'll film in, or I'll put in, then we'll come wrap up the video. But if you're just out of the box, like measuring thinness behind the edge, this is about 17 thousandths behind the edge. This is 20 thousandths. You know, that's going to make a big difference. It really is, especially cutting this type of material we're going to be cutting. The blade stock thickness is thinner on the Bugout, but that's not going to really matter in what we're cutting. The kind of materials we're cutting, that's not going to play into effect, so that doesn't really matter. But that does aid in the weight reduction as well. So, all right, guys, let's wrap in this footage. We're going to cut rope. We're going to cut cardboard, some foam, I think that's about it. And then we'll see who won. Stay tuned. All right, what's up, guys? Got a bunch of stuff we're going to cut with the Para 3 and the Benchmade Bugout. A bunch of cardboard, a bunch of rope, some foam, and we're going to see what cuts better. Now, the Bugout is thinner behind the edge by a decent amount, but the initial sharpness of the Para 3 is better. I mean, this is an out-of-the-box Para 3, and it's pretty dang sharp. Oop. The Bugout is sharp, but it doesn't cut through the paper as cleanly, so that's a little bit of an advantage to the Para 3. So we'll see. The Para 3 is brand new. The Bugout's been used for a long time. I mean, I've never sharpened it, but I've stropped it frequently. So we're gonna try. Let's see, how many pieces of this do I have to? So I've got some smaller rope. Just 2 of those. Okay, it's not a lot. Oh, 2 little guys there. Then I've got some thicker rope. Let's do some even pieces here. Trying to anyway. That's even. That's pretty even. That's pretty even. Okay, those are pretty even. All right. Then we'll do some foam. Then we got a bunch of cardboard, and we're just gonna cut them and see what. This is gonna be a subjective test because you can't really measure this very well. I need something to cut on. So let me use a piece of this cardboard so I don't jack up my table here. All right. We're gonna start with the Bugout, I think. Actually, let's start with the Para 3, just because it's sharper. Just to feel how it goes through this. This is about, I think this is a 1/4 inch tensile rope. And there's some push cuts. Man. Right into that cardboard though. Maybe I should probably use the cutting board, but we're gonna do what we got here. It's not really cutting. It's pretty sharp too, but it's not cutting great through this rope. This isn't even the thicker stuff either. It's kind of getting. I almost have to saw through it. Yeah, so it's getting mostly through the fibers, but not all the way. Okay. All right, let's try the Bugout. Same type of rope, and we're gonna just do the same kind of test where we do some push cuts, just to see how it does. That's better. That was better. That was better. Yep. Yeah, it's cutting through that rope a lot better. So I don't even need to cut anymore. That was an obvious. Bugout cuts rope better. As far as push cuts go, let's do some pulls. Let's do some pull cuts through this stuff. A little resistance there. Not bad, but a little bit. Takes a little bit of effort. You have to pull pretty good on it. Let's try the Bugout. This is gonna make a mess of my table here. Pretty good resistance there too. Yeah, I'd say they're about even on the pull cuts. That's with the 1/4 inch rope. I believe this is the 1/2 inch stuff here. Let's try some. So we didn't even make a clean cut all the way through. Try the Bugout. Clean cut all the way through. So didn't quite make it on the Para 3. So I think the rope, the thinness behind the edge on the Bugout is showing itself in the rope cutting for sure. I'm gonna do this in clips, and my battery's getting low. All right, we're gonna do the foam cut test here. Some pretty thick stuff, so. Not bad. I mean, it's thicker than the knives. Para 3 has a little bit, or the Bugout has a little bit. Oh yeah. The Bugout goes through the foam easier too. Yeah, a little bit more resistance with the Para 3. Do a couple more with the Bugout. This one's gonna be hard to see on camera, but the Bugout goes through the material easier. Again, thinner behind the edge. Makes a difference. Cutting any kind of material, really. Let's try. Yeah, that's good enough. All right, cardboard is up next. We're gonna use this piece again as our stop. And we're just gonna do some cuts. Para 3 likes cardboard. It's going through it without any problems at all. Yeah, Para 3 did great through cardboard. And this is all the same cardboard too. This is from the same box that I broke down. So, that one's got a label on it though. Like that. Sorry, I'm trying to find one that doesn't have tape or something that's going to hinder it. All right, I'm just going to have to go with this for the Bugout. Yeah, the Bugout, I mean, I don't know if you guys can tell. It just slices through it faster. It's just a cleaner cut. It's not a huge noticeable difference though. But it's something you have to kind of feel. Okay, you can kind of see it there. It's just a little bit easier. We'll do this cut in the middle. So we miss the tape. Or the Bugout. And remember, the Para 3 is initially sharper out of the box. It typically would give it an advantage, but it's thicker behind the edge, so it just doesn't cut as well. Weird how that makes a difference, right? But I will tell you, like, both knives are comfortable to use. I would say the FRN on the Para 3 is a little bit more aggressive, so it makes cutting, like when you're really holding onto the knife, a little bit more uncomfortable, but it's not bad by any means. Let's do some more. The Bugout is like a laser. Oh, and this is a coated blade, which would give it a little bit more resistance than just stainless. Not stainless, but satin. Sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah, you can tell. There's definitely a difference going through the cardboard. The Bugout just is like a laser, man. Just a little less resistance. Not a ton, just a little. And I expected this, honestly. Jeez. Yeah, you can really feel the Para, when you're really gripping it like that, you can kind of feel the coarseness of that FRN. Whereas the Bugout doesn't really have any kind of coarseness, really. And it feels really comfortable in the hand. I mean, I'm gripping it pretty hard, and it's not causing any hot spots. I did change the clip to the longer deep carry clip, but that doesn't really matter as far as this test is concerned. So, yeah, you're kind of hitting that hump too in the hole. Overall, they're both good performing knives on cardboard and rope and foam. Sure, I don't know, I guess common things you might run into in your daily life. But overall, I give the performance, cutting performance of the, between the two, I give it to the Bugout. And I figured that would be the case, being it's thinner behind the edge. But it's also more comfortable to use in hand than the Para 3. Which is kind of surprising because the Para 3 has that nice thumb ramp and jimping. I think it's more the over aggressiveness of the texturing on the FRN versus the Bugouts. So One thing I better cover, and if I don't, I'm going to get lambasted here, is people are going to talk about the Flex. That's the Bugout Flex. Guess what? Same with the Para 3. All right, guys, so overall performance-wise, I think the Bugout, and a lot of that test, like I said, it's going to be hard for you to tell, but you may be able to tell, like the Bugout cut rope better, the Bugout cut cardboard better, and it cut foam better. It just was a better cutter overall. It just was a better performing knife. And that's a lot, mostly to do, edge geometry is obviously the big part of it. Thinness behind the edge makes a difference when cutting those kind of materials. And it made a big difference in this because the cardboard was pretty close. I was actually surprised. I thought, I mean, you do have a little bit, this was sharper out of the box, and this has the coating on the blade. But the Bugout was definitely easier. It was slicier, but it was pretty close. I think if they were at the same sharpness level in both knives, one wasn't coated, the Bugout would have won hands down. Now, the Bugout did better than the other two materials as well. So, overall performance-wise, the Bugout is a better performer. So, is the Para 3 lightweight a Bugout killer? No, it's not. It is a little less expensive, but you're paying $20 more roughly to get the Bugout. And I think all day long you go with the Bugout. All day long. Unless you're hate Benchmade, and I know people are going to be, there's going to be some politics involved in this, and I'm trying not to bring it up because it's not fair to the performance of the knives and how they perform. You may say I'm not supporting Benchmade because what they did. Fine, then you buy the Para 3 and you got a good knife. But if that's not going to cloud your judgment or anything, then you got to go Benchmade all day. I mean, you really do. Warranty-wise, better. Benchmade's better. Sypderco does not encourage you to take apart the knives. Of course, either is Benchmade, so that was a bad comparison. But my experience with both customer service, I had the Sypderco Advocate hassle with this company. Never had any problems. Have had sent a knives back. Had gotten free pocket clips, gotten replacement parts, whatever. No big deal. I think Benchmade has a little bit leg up as far as your customer service and warranty goes too. And both companies have their issues. A lot of times you'll get a Benchmade that's that you can't get centered for the life here. The grinds are uneven. I had a really bad Anthem, which was really disappointing for how expensive a knife is. But then I also had a bad Sypderco Nirvana. So also one of their most expensive knives. At the time it was their most, but now they have the new Passan and the Drunken and stuff. So both companies have their issues. But if you're looking for a lightweight EDC knife that performs well, I'm going to recommend the Bugout. Now, not to say I don't recommend the Para 3 lightweight. I think it's a good knife. The texturing on the FRN was a little more rough than I like under use, but that's not a huge deal. I'm running out of batteries. We're going to have to wrap this up. The grinds being uneven, whatever. It is what it is. Para 3, Sypderco fanboys and Para 3 guys are going to love the lightweight. I don't see why you wouldn't like it. But for me, as I'm not really a Sypderco fanboy, I'm not really a Benchmade fanboy. I would choose the Benchmade Bugout. And I don't think the Para 3 is a Bugout killer. Now, another comparison I heard, and I don't have a Delica, is it a Delica killer? From my experience, yes, it would be. It's a little bit thinner behind the edge. Delicas are pretty thick behind the edge. People don't really realize that. I like the compression lock a heck of a lot better than I do the lock back, and your steel choice, if you're going base models, is going to be better on the Para 3. So yeah, I think I would choose this over a Bugout or a Delica, yes, but not over the Benchmade Bugout. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap up this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.